tornado watch is in effect as strong storms move into the region, the latest on conditions.
Plus,
I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This is a criminal cover-up.
shocking testimony over the safety of Boeing's planes.
And how you can limit your exposure to so-called forever chemicals. Newswatch starts right now. A tornado watch is in effect for portions of southeast Ohio.
You are taking a live look outside at sunny skies here in Athens, but as strong storms push into our area, that all could change. The National Weather Service warns these storms could produce damaging wind and hail as we head into the evening hours. Good evening. I'm Haley Swano.
And I'm Donovan Varney. Joining us now with the latest is forecaster Isabel Isco.
Isabel, can you tell us a bit about these systems that are moving in?
Yes, we're seeing it as we go a little bit more north. They're not in those sunny skies. They're looking pretty rainy out there, and they're in those tornado warnings. But here we're going to be seeing it moving into our area, and that watch we're going to be seeing until about midnight tonight. That they're really going to be pushing through, and it's just not going to be looking pretty good for us tonight. We are in a little bit of that tornado watch until later tonight, like I said, at midnight. You can see on this map, those solid lines, those are those warnings. A little bit of these black lines, they are those watches. We are in this large tornado watch, all surrounding Ohio, parts of Pennsylvania, a little bit into West Virginia. These solid lines, you can see more into the central Ohio area. That red is that thunderstorm warning. That yellow is where we're going to be seeing that severe, those a little bit of special weather statements. That's where they're seeing hail currently. Right now you're seeing the severe weather a little bit more north, but it is on its way down. We're going to be seeing it moving down in a little clockwise positioning. That is giving us that shear, that little bit of instability that could form some tornadoes as we get into later tonight. As I said, going to be looking into midnight. You can see on the radar, it is a lot more severe as we go north, and it's starting to push down. Right now, we're not seeing it pushing as much as we would see if we are going to be getting those storms. They are getting closer and closer, as you can see. We're going to be on that little bit of a cusp of if we are going to be getting tornadoes here in Athens, but as we go more north of southeast Ohio, they're in a lot more of that risk of getting some pretty severe weather. You can see as we zoom out that clockwise rotation that is going to be giving us that instability to form those tornadoes. Tornadoes does not mean rain. So we might not see a lot of rain, we might see a lot of thunder and lightning, but that does not mean that we're going to be getting a lot of precipitation. We just need some instability in there. That lightning is that instability. 79, we've had a beautiful day out there until now. This morning we were a little rainy, but as we get into later tonight, that is whenever it's going to be looking a little bit unstable. And I'll be saying how tomorrow we're going to be looking a little bit similar today, but not as instability and severe. Let's take it back over to Haley.
Thanks, Isabel. A portion of the Ohio River near Pittsburgh has reopened just 4 days after 26 barges broke loose and floated downriver. Campbell Transportation Company and the U.S. Coast Guard safely removed 5 of the last 7 barges resting at the Emsworth Dam. 2 more barges remain there, and another is presumed to have sank. The barges broke loose after severe storms 2 weeks ago dropped record-breaking rainfall across the Ohio River Valley, flooding the river. The incident also led to the closure of 2 bridges that have since reopened. The storms 2 weeks ago also broke another record for the National Weather Service in Charleston. Here's a map put out by the Weather Service showing a historic 17 confirmed tornadoes. This is the most tornadoes for any calendar day and event on record for Charleston office. The previous record was 6 tornadoes 50 years ago on April 4th, 1974. Of the 17, 10 were in West Virginia, breaking a state record for the most tornadoes in one day.
Lieutenant Governor John Husted was in Nelsonville today talking about the mental health of K through 12 students. Husted attended the Appalachian Children Coalition Youth Mental Health Summit. While there, he spoke with healthcare professionals and local school leaders about phone usage. Husted says research shows that social media algorithms negatively target today's youth.
Information that's coming out is very harmful, with eating disorders, bullying, suggestions of suicide, gender dysphoria. Social media companies are addicting them, monetizing them, collecting data on them, and harming our kids.
Superintendents urged Husted to work with Governor Mike DeWine to draft up an executive order outlining ways in which they should move forward to better protect their students. A judge dismisses 2 Athens city officials from a lawsuit seeking to block the city's plastic bag ban. City Law Director Lisa Eliason and Service Safety Director Andy Stone were dismissed from the case after the judge agreed there is no evidence they have enforced the ban. The state is seeking to block the ban because they say it violates a state law prohibiting a government entity from banning plastic bags. In the motion, Assistant Law Director Jesse Hiddle says even if the court were to stop the ban, there is no way civil or criminal charges can be filed against Stone or Eliason.
Ohio's Attorney General says a Democratic plan to get President Joe Biden on the November ballot won't work. Ohio's state law requires ballots to be certified 90 days before an election, which is August 7th this year. But the president won't be officially nominated until the Democratic National Convention on August 19th. Democrats were prepared to provisionally certify Biden ahead of the state deadline. Lawmakers could pass an exception to the deadline by May 9th.
Coming up, the first impeachment trial for a cabinet secretary in over 100 years ends just hours after it begins.
And the shocking testimony brings more concerns over the safety of Boeing's planes.
We're still under that tornado watch. We're going to be seeing how that's going to be playing out and how tomorrow is going to be looking a lot better out there. Next on Newswatch.
A hunter's life is full of challenges. But armed with a fistful of daggers, raptors have risen to the top. But there's another side to their story. They're resourceful parents and determined survivors. And in a changing world, what does the future hold for raptors?
Tonight at 8 on WOUB.
Subtle rises in sea level.
The demise of coral reefs.
Devastating changes take place.
These events are climate change.
It's really a crossroads for humanity.
This is serious.
To heal the earth, we have to think of new ways.
Let's figure it out.
It's science, it's engineering, and it's conservation.
A new species.
Amazing.
The greatest opportunities are in chaos.
It is a breakthrough.
We're at a period of remaking the world.
Addressing global crisis.
We can change the earth.
We're doing this for the future. If we don't, what then?
Good things come to those who wait. Maybe things are starting to look up.
This might take the edge off.
Yeah, I'm with you so far.
We might not have had much choice about our lives, but we can choose what sort of parents we're going to be.
The post office has taken all our money.
If you want something done properly, do it yourself.
People say at some point the excitement fades away, but with you it never has.
Sunday on WOUB.
Persons are commanded to keep silent under pain of imprisonment while the Senate of the United States is convened as a court of impeachment to consider the articles of impeachment against Alejandro N. Mayorkas, Secretary of Homeland Security.
The impeachment trial for first cabinet secretary to be impeached in nearly 150 years began today in the Senate and quickly came to an end. Democratic senators decided both articles of impeachment against Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas were unconstitutional. Mayorkas faced 2 articles: willful and systemic refusal to comply with the law and breach of public trust. Both articles were killed along party lines. Democratic lawmakers say this was a political stunt by the House GOP. Some Republican senators had tried to force a full trial, but analysts said that was a long shot since the charges didn't reach the bar of high crimes and misdemeanors. Also on Capitol Hill today, dual congressional hearings reveal shocking allegations of safety lapses at Boeing. Ivan Rodriguez breaks down the testimony.
Boeing feeling the pressure as current and former employees join a panel of witnesses testifying before a Senate subcommittee about what the hearing title called a broken safety culture at the company.
I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This is a criminal cover-up.
Sam Salahpour, a quality engineer for Boeing, says when assembling the fuselage on 787 aircrafts, gaps between pieces were left too wide, creating stress which could lead to fatigue and failure over time.
I want to make clear that I have raised these issues over 3 years. I was ignored. I was told not to create delays. I was told, frankly, to shut up.
Ahead of Wednesday's testimony, Boeing said inspections found no evidence of fatigue in parts of the plane now facing questions. The company released a statement reading in part, "We are fully confident in the 787 Dreamliner. These claims about structural integrity of the 787 are inaccurate and do not represent the comprehensive work Boeing has done to ensure the quality and long-term safety of the aircraft." Boeing has faced more than 5 years of questions over its commercial jets following 2 deadly crashes of a different model, the 737 MAX. January's door plug blowout aboard an Alaska Airlines flight added to the pressure. In an earlier hearing Wednesday, a panel of experts informed Congress of a series of recommendations they have made to the FAA for how to fix the issues at Boeing.
There needs to be an environment of psychological safety. They need to learn from that and communicate it and pass it on.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
As Boeing testifies on Capitol Hill, a new report from United Airlines says it is feeling the impact of Boeing's ongoing problems. The carrier says it lost $200 million during the first 3 months of the year after Boeing was forced to ground its 737 MAX 9 jets for several weeks. United depends on Boeing planes for about 80% of its mainline fleet. The airline says it is unclear if Boeing will reimburse the company for the cost of grounding the 737 MAX 9s.
When Arizona's Supreme Court ruled that a near-total abortion ban from the late 1800s could stand in the state, Republican lawmakers gavelled out early to delay any action by Democrats. Today, Arizona's House lawmakers returned to session, and fighting to repeal that law was at the top of the Dems' agenda. Laura Aguirre brings us more from the contentious debate.
We need to stop this. We need to stop murdering our children.
Supporters of Arizona's near-total ban on abortions gathered outside of the State House Wednesday, while inside, the latest round in a fight to repeal the state's Civil War-era abortion law played out.
It is time to repeal this abhorrent 1864 abortion ban.
Some of us believe that abortion is in fact the murder of children.
Democratic lawmakers made 2 attempts to pass a motion to discuss a bill that, if passed, would roll back the controversial legislation. In the end, it was a tie along party lines.
30 ayes, 30 nays. The ruling of the chair is upheld,
with the chair as the tie-breaking vote, meaning the measure would not even be discussed on the House floor. The law, upheld by the state Supreme Court last week, makes all abortions illegal, with the only exception being for life-saving care. And it could punish abortion providers with up to 5 years in prison.
It's infuriating. I didn't go to medical school to go to jail.
One group called Healthcare Rising Arizona is collecting signatures to get abortion access on the ballot this fall in an attempt to enshrine abortion access in the state's constitution permanently. Meanwhile, some state leaders think the 1860s law doesn't go far enough.
The only way I would change it if I could is make it absolutely no exceptions at all.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
We're still watching that severe weather out there. That tornado warning just to our north, a little bit below Canton, has gone away. Right now we're looking at a lot of thunderstorm warnings. Those are going to be happening all along this system that is really making its way through, giving some tornado warnings, not watches like here in Athens, but it is giving some severe weather a little bit more north. It is missing us just a little bit. We are still not out of the clear of that severe weather, but currently out there, it is more northerly, giving Cleveland a lot of hail right now, which is very surprising. And you can see all those red lines along that system that is giving some pretty intense storms. You can see as we get a little bit closer to Athens, we are on that border of that tornado watch, so we are going to be seeing it hitting us a little bit later. That severe thunderstorm warning just right above us in Lancaster, Zanesville, Cambridge. Excuse my voice. We are getting those warnings as we are going into the day. You can see that as we started the day, we knew that we were going to be in that slight severe weather risk. That means that we're going to be seeing those scattered showers, that scattered severe weather all throughout Ohio. And as we got closer into the day, as we got further into the day, it got a little bit more severe and really honed in on southeast and northeast Ohio. We're going to be seeing that radar as we're following it, that severe weather like I was talking about. You can see that rain that we were getting just earlier this morning and now as we're getting later into tonight. Looking at tonight, that overnight low 53, it's getting a little bit cooler out there than it has these last couple nights, that 40% chance of thunderstorms. We're going to be seeing a lot more thunder than rain with these, just from that instability that could form that tornadoes. Gives us a lot of lightning, gives us a lot of thunder out there. Looking at that national radar, you'll see that cold front that's moving its way through. That's what's making it a little bit chillier tonight, and it's going to be making it a little bit more seasonal than those little warmer temperatures that we've been having. It's been feeling like summer more than spring out there recently. You're going to be seeing that more hit us tomorrow night than anything as we go later into the week. That temperature high still at 79 tomorrow, still going to be feeling like summer until we get past tomorrow. That temperature low of 56. You can see out of that rain by tomorrow, early tomorrow morning, it's going to be making its way out. Then as we're looking into 24 hours ahead tomorrow afternoon in the clear, then we're going to be seeing that rain come in once again, giving us that rain on Friday, looking like it's going to be hitting us before noon, but you'll definitely have to watch out. And then it's going to be clearing up again with this high pressure system. You can see in that 7-day forecast, a little bit chillier temperatures than we've been having, going to be feeling a lot more like spring. After those showers on Friday, we're going to be into the clear until we're looking at earlier next week. So you're definitely going to be wanting to stick back with us of when we're going to need that umbrella next. Let's take it back to Haley.
Thanks, Isabel. America's debt problem and high interest rates could wreak havoc on the world's financial stability. That's according to the International Monetary Fund, or IMF. The U.S.'s rising debt and high rates could cause borrowing costs around the world to spike. A spike would put pressure on global interest rates and push up the global cost of borrowing. The IMF's warning only adds to concerns about the broader consequences of ballooning U.S. government debt, which the Treasury Department puts at nearly $35 trillion. Now, adding to these fears is that it looks like U.S. interest rates aren't coming down anytime soon. Yesterday, the Federal Reserve signaled that rates could stay high for a while due to persistent inflation, which could cause investors around the world to start selling off financial assets, including stock and government bonds. Jen Sullivan breaks down what not cutting rates means for the economy and for borrowers.
It appears interest rates won't be coming down anytime soon. For months, Federal Reserve officials have said they need convincing data showing inflation is coming down before feeling comfortable cutting interest rates.
We'll need greater confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward 2% before it would be appropriate to ease policy.
But inflation isn't near 2%. According to the latest data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics released last week, the Consumer Price Index rose 3.5% in the last year. The report also shows prices for a variety of categories have gone up in the last 12 months, everything from car insurance to baby food to rent.
The recent data have clearly not given us greater confidence and instead indicate that it's likely to take longer than expected to achieve that confidence.
Mortgage rates continue to rise as well. The average 30-year fixed mortgage rate jumped to 6.88% in the week ending April 11th, up from 6.82% the previous week, according to Freddie Mac. All of that means higher costs for households. When it's more expensive to borrow, experts say consumers have less money to pour into the economy. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
If a cut were to be announced, it is likely to be done sometime this summer. Next, forever chemicals are found in nearly half of the U.S.'s drinking water. How to protect yourself. And for the latest from Newswatch, follow us on Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube.
On American Experience.
Health emergency. Chemical waste is coming out of the ground.
Already 8 cases of cancer on a 15-house street.
It was hard to believe this could happen in the United States of America.
Significant birth defects and miscarriages.
That spurred me to want to do something.
I mean, the fight came to us. We didn't look for it.
This incredible group of women become the faces of environmental reform.
Poisoned Ground, the tragedy at Love Canal on American Experience.
Monday at 9 on WOUB.
Times are changing.
Every nut and bolt, you know its breaking point, but the humans have not been quantified.
I'm here to serve, I'm here to learn, I'm here to grow, and so whatever happens, just remember that.
I was diagnosed with Parkinson's at 39.
You never know what's gonna happen if you don't give up.
Holding it together is more exhausting than the disease itself.
You might live.
You have to hunt. If you don't do subsistence activities, you die.
It connects us to our past.
The way humans make sense of the world is through stories.
There's nothing that moves you as a human as much as storytelling.
You want to know what you can do, and you want to be part of that.
Who owns those images of the future? Who shaped them? Who is missing from the story, and why?
Are the stories that we're putting out creating artificial boundaries in terms of what kind of futures and worlds that we want?
Tonight at 9 on WOUB.
Environmentalists are saying they've come up with a huge breakthrough to help protect human health. Last week, the first national standard was set to limit quote-unquote forever chemicals, which is found in nearly half of U.S. drinking water. Mandy Gaither has more on the dangers of these chemicals and how you can lessen your exposure to them.
They can be found in some makeup, sunscreen, even pizza boxes, a large family of potentially dangerous synthetic chemicals.
Perfluoroalkyl and polyfluoroalkyl are substances that are known as forever chemicals.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says they're also called PFAS chemicals that can be found in consumer products that are made to be waterproof, non-stick, and stain resistant.
These chemicals have been developed at this breakneck pace. And again, they're called forever chemicals because they don't break down completely.
Gupta says that means what makes them durable also makes them hard to get rid of. They linger in the environment and the human body. The CDC says nearly 97% of all Americans have these chemicals in their blood. They're linked to a variety of health problems, including cancer, kidney and liver damage, and other serious health problems in people with prolonged exposure. But you can lessen your exposure.
You can avoid stain and water-resistant products and sprays. If you order delivery or takeout from restaurants, remove your food from takeout containers before reheating. When cooking at home, steer clear of non-stick cookware and filter your drinking water with activated carbon or reverse osmosis if possible.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Before last week, there was no federal standard for chemicals in drinking water. Now, water utilities will be required to filter out 5 types of individual forever chemicals. Still ahead, a number of NBA stars are called to represent Team USA in Paris. But first, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
For more than 70 years, WOUB Public Media has been the place where people in our region turn to learn how stories of the past ignite the imagination of the future. It's where information, entertainment, and education work together to inform, enlighten, and inspire generations. It's the place where the community gathers to hear and see our world in new and innovative ways. WOUB, the public media you trust that's worthy of your support.
Born in fire, shaped by ice, blasted from space. It takes a lot to make a continent.
Here in one place, you have this incredible story laid out for your viewing pleasure.
Join Kirk Johnson for a special Nova mini-series, 4 billion years in the making.
Are you ready for a little time traveling?
Making North America.
Tonight at 10 on WOUB.
Regardless of your stage of life, whether you're starting your first job, getting the keys to a new home, or enjoying retirement, it's never too early or too late to create an estate plan to care for loved ones and support the causes that are meaningful to you. WOUB Public Media is pleased to have partnered with Giving Dogs, a free resource for building an estate plan that fits your needs and protects the people and causes you care about. Visit WOUB.org and click the support tab to get started today.
My people in the buffalo have a shared history together. The buffalo was sacred, and they could not imagine existence without the buffalo. They were put on this earth to help us survive.
To think that our greed and our industrialization would blink this thing out.
This is the buffalo's last chance.
They've survived, we've survived, we both persisted.
Thursday at 9 on WOUB.
Finally tonight, LeBron James is headed to Paris for the 2024 Olympics. The NBA star is anchoring the USA men's basketball squad. LeBron has previously won gold medals in 2008 and 2012 and a bronze in 2004. This year's Dream Team includes Anthony Davis, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, Anthony Edwards, Kawhi Leonard, Tyrese Halliburton, and Bam Adebayo. And NBA MVP Joel Embiid will make an appearance for his Olympic debut. The Olympic opening ceremony is scheduled for July 26, with men's basketball beginning the next day. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I am excited for this one. This is going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like a dream team. All those great NBA stars right up there.
I know. And LeBron, my personal favorite. I mean, I'm definitely going to be tuning in.
Yep.
I don't know about you guys.
The second we came in, it was all Donovan wanted to talk about.
I know.
All he wanted to talk about
awesome.
was his sunshine.
Yeah, he is my sunshine. Speaking of that, how is the weather going to be looking, though?
Well, tonight we're not going to be seeing that sunshine. Recently, we've been getting more into a little bit severe weather closer to us. We're going to be seeing, as we get closer, as I was saying, that system has been going more south. It is getting closer and closer. Logan County, it's getting closer to Logan. Right now it's hitting Circleville, Baltimore, parts of North Zanesville. It is really getting closer and closer to be hitting us directly in Athens and just overall affecting Southeast Ohio a lot more. This system has been making its way in that clockwise rotation, and it's still on its way closer to Athens, closer to that more of Southeast Ohio, and it's really going to be affecting us as we get later into the night. You can see that tonight, that 40% chance of thunderstorms. We're going to be seeing that instability, a little bit of rain in there whenever this system makes its way down. That overnight low of 53. We're going to be seeing that chill down just a little bit. And into tomorrow, that rain is going to be making its way out. Mostly sunny skies. It's going to be warming up just like today with that high of 79. We're going to be get used to those high temperatures tomorrow, because as we look later into the week, those temperatures are not going to be as high. Looking at tomorrow, we're going to have that clearing, going to be a very beautiful day after this weather that we're having tonight. But once we're looking later into the week, that's whenever that rain is going to be coming in. You can see on that 7-day outlook, Friday, showers, a little bit cooling down. And then Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be looking at temperatures in those low 60s to high 50s. And as the beginning of next week starts out, we're going to be warming up just a little bit again, but it's definitely going to be feeling a lot more like spring than summer.
Well, that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. For Isabel Isco, I'm Haley Sueno.
And I'm Donovan Varney. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org and follow us on social media. Have a great night.